Pak.
Apa Reza ya sama
Saya Pak ya.
Baru 2 orang yang regbet semua ya. Yang mereka belum ada yang masuk. Mudah-mudahan juga pada bisa ya hari ini. Tapi udah diumumin sih di grup bahwa kuliahnya digabung gitu ya.
Iya.
Sebetulnya jadwal rega itu hari Jumat jam 1. Tapi karena memang tetap dihitung 1 ya. Secara SKS kalau regbenya cuma di bawah 10.
Iya. Ya itu mah udah tahu kok Pak. Jadi nggak mau
lagi kalau mata kuliah teori mungkin kurang terlalu perlu untuk dibagi. Kalau saya ngajar speaking sih tetap ya, saya tetap bagi 2. Karena memang harus ada prakteknya kan tiap mahasiswa ya. Dan kalau semua dibagi 2 itu jadi 10 kelas total saya. Gitu. Lumayan.
Jangan pada
lumayan padat kalau dibagi reg B sama A semua. Cuma yang ngurangin 1 lah, ibaratnya saya nggak juga mereduksi kelas saya sangat banyak, tapi cuma 1 ya. Cuma 1 kelas ini aja yang digabung, sisanya tidak ada yang digabung. Kebetulan hanya karena pertama mata kuliahnya teori, kedua jumlah reg B-nya tidak terlalu banyak gitu aja.
Jadi sebenarnya kita
gitu.
juga gabung sama A, Pak.
Oh gitu. Tapi ada yang nggak bisa ya kalau Jumat. Kalau Jumat jam 1 nggak bisa ya kayaknya.
Nggak bisa. Ini udah enak sih Pak.
Ya udah berarti mengalah ke reg B ya untuk mata kuliah ini. Ada beberapa mungkin karena hari Kamis bisa atau hari apa bisa reg B-nya. Ya, kebetulan hari Jumat jam 1 pada nggak bisa. Jadi kita gabung aja di sini semua ya. Oke, kita mulai karena sudah mulai banyak. Sudah lumayan 5 orang, nanti yang lain menyusul. Good evening everyone.
Evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks for joining. Welcome to the second meeting of English for Journalism. And forgot to tell you that I have to sign on the attendance on Friday. Yeah, I forgot it because the last 2 weeks you have KKN program, and last week the schedule has been changed into today. And frequently I have to check my attendance from Siakat. And then for next week, I'm sure that I'll remember about checking the attendance of my college students. Right now, we'll discuss about a media based on economy. Yeah, based on the commercial thing, how is it really selling for the audience, and how can we gain any profit? Nida, izin sebentar katanya. Oke, nggak apa-apa. Silakan kembali lagi untuk menyimak ya kalau sudah beres urusannya. Okay, here it is, the slideshow for today. We're going to discuss it, and I'll allow any questions if there is some confusion behind my lesson to the WhatsApp or directly here on the Zoom. The economics of media industry. We'll learn the commercial aspect of mass media. Okay, for the mass media, we'll have some effort to publish. If we are involved in the mass media as a professional person, then we'll see that the economics of media industry will try to gain profit as much as possible. And there are several strategies to gain the profit or money that we expect. At least we can survive with the level of financial, and we can continue our business because we can give salary for all of the employees, and the rest of the capital can be gained by the owner, the directors, the leaders of the company board, and also the rest of it will be continued for the next production of media. So it's a kind of management system And for gaining some profit, the industry of media must think about the most effective way to promote the content of publication, and also categorize several levels of interest that might be really potential for the audience, that might be really attractive to be viewed and read by the audience. Ya. Kalau kemarin kita melihat hubungan antara media dengan masyarakat, kali ini kita melihat media dari segi ekonomi atau komersil, ya, bahwa media juga adalah suatu industri yang memproduksi sesuatu, yaitu apa, informasi bagi masyarakat, gitu ya. Dan bagaimana mengoptimalkan profit dari suatu media sehingga tidak hanya bisa survive tapi bisa berkembang, ya, makmur, menggaji semua karyawannya, ya, pemiliknya juga dapat keuntungan dan juga bisa melanjutkan usaha karena masih ada modal untuk memproduksi yang selanjutnya, gitu ya, berita-berita yang selanjutnya atau tayangan-tayangan yang selanjutnya. Production perspective, according to Frey 1992, this highlights the fact that mass media products are not free-floating text. If we are about to give this as something profitable, then we have to gain amount of money. In a conventional one, we usually target a piece of publication with a certain price tag. Yeah, the newspaper, the printed magazine will have a certain amount of price for the buyers. Example, 20,000 rupiah for one magazine, or 10,000 rupiah for a publication of newspaper. But right now, we don't see anymore much printed media that are published around the stores or around the street vendors. We see that we have some digitalized one. The digitalized media can be gained the profit by having AdSense, advertisement. When you click something, and the company will earn the profit by having several advertisements around, or in the television there are some commercial breaks that will result in amount of money when the rating is so high and there are so many audiences who see it or view it, they will gain also amount of money. Remember a certain TV drama that have so many audiences that watch it. It will result in so many commercial breaks because the sponsorship will come for being viewed by all of the fans from this TV drama. Okay, if it's just in the form of visual media, yeah. What about text? Yeah, it's also the same. There will be a separate strategy to gain profit. They are the result of complex production process that is shaped by a variety of social structural forces that operate on various levels, and some affecting industry as a whole, and some affecting particular actors or a group of actors within the industry. So anyone can feel certain level of income, yeah, from this industry of business. The whole industry will get a profit, and the level of payment will be different to each other. Of course, the main protagonists, the superstars of a certain cinematic performance or a certain publication of broadcast, for example, will get a big amount of payment because they are the central of the focus from the people who view it. And there are some who gain less, like the cameraman or the photographer from this mass media, and maybe the author will get the higher salary because the idea is expensive. Yeah, writing story, writing an article of news will need or require some skill that is really complex to summarize the information into one article or publication or into one story of fictional books or a movie, ya, as a screenwriter, for example. Tentunya semua akan mempengaruhi industri secara keseluruhan dan efek atau dampak dari keuntungannya akan berbeda-beda levelnya tentunya. Bagi beberapa orang yang memiliki andil yang besar, kalau di dunia perfilman, ya aktor-aktor utama yang akan mendapatkan misalnya bayaran lebih besar daripada pendukungnya, aktor pendukungnya. Kalau di perfilman, screenwriter-nya akan memiliki bayaran yang besar karena memiliki ide untuk membuat skenario dan dialog-dialog yang membuat penonton misalnya terkesima. Kemudian mungkin kameramennya yang mengambil gambar mendapat bayaran tidak lebih tinggi dari aktor-aktor utama, ya. Nah, kemudian produser akan memiliki profit yang lebih besar lagi karena produser adalah orang yang mengelola, ya, dari produksi film tersebut. Misalnya kalau kita ambil contoh film. Terlebih lagi nanti ada lagi profit untuk industri media pemberitaan, ya, dan lain-lain. Itu akan kebagian keuntungan masing-masing, ya, dengan porsi gaji atau besaran uang yang dibayarkan kepada masing-masing orang yang ambil andil dalam publikasi media tersebut, ya. Oke, kita lanjut. Oke, the integration of media industry, we'll see the process of earning money from the beginning. The first is music, the second books, and the third one film. Let's see how is the process to finally find the biggest income that we expect by looking at this table. Yeah, starting from music. Example, you want to produce a certain production of record, yeah, in the music industry. Then the talent agencies are supposed to find some musicians that have some required talents, and then they will have fit in the music trend right now. Yeah, if it's just all about ballad or melancholic song that is popular in Indonesia, then talent agencies will look for those singers who have a potential to sing some ballad or melancholic song. Yeah, like Ziva Magnolia or other singers here in our country. And then after select several musicians, there would be audition to pick up the best ones here. For example, the talent agencies have found some singers of music bands that have potential. There are about 20 individuals who have that potential. Then the talent agencies will select only a few of them to be their musicians, and then they will gain any record label. Yeah, example, the name of the band is Extreme Band, yeah, for example. And then this Extreme Band have been picked up as the next artist to be orbited, yeah, to be promoted to the fans, and they will gain some record label. Example, the label is Atlantic Record, yeah. And then after they gain their job in this talent record label, they will have some sound recording label, yeah, and they will create some songs inside the studio, arranging some music arrangement, and also they will record it into some mix mastering, and then they will spread the distribution into several channels, yeah. It can be some music stores, yeah. During my time, there are some stores who sell some cassettes, but it's not really the same. Right now, you can also sell some piece of compact disc, like for example, DVD or Blu-ray disc, yeah, in some fast food or in some stores. And then besides, it can be promoted through the radio while people working and listening to music by using their headset or listening to the mini compo. Yeah, or the modern one will also upload them into some channels, yeah, from YouTube channel, Spotify, and maybe there are lots of interaction from the fans who view it frequently until it results in some profit of AdSense. Yeah. After that, there will be some stores, eco stores. Yeah. Back then, in 90s or early 2000, there are still many record stores that are really reduced right now because many of them have been promoted through the internet. Yeah. Uh, they have iTunes for selling some official MP3. Yeah. There are lots of choices in this digitalized era. And then the second one, books, yeah, authors will be selected. Example, these literary agencies will look for several lecturers around different colleges and they have found 5 lecturers to be selected as their authors. And they found also the best writers to publish several titles of books. Yeah. Example, one of the title is academic writing, and the second one is linguistics study, and the last one is literary works. Yeah, the 3 lecturers here become the regular authors that will gain certain royalty, like musician, for the number of sales from the printed books, or it can be also the PDF or digital form of these books, yeah, that are sold through the e-commerce, and it can be also sold directly by the bookstores like Gramedia here in our country, and then they will get some publishers that will uh, spread all of the distribution around our country or even import it to other countries, yeah, and then it will be printed, and there are some paper mills. Trucking firms, here is the transportation for distributing all of the books into several bookstores. Yeah. Besides the bookstores, there are conventionally in a certain place of building, there are lots of that provide electronic commerce like Tokopedia, Shopee, yeah, and many other uh, e-commerce that provide people to order it via online. And the last one, film, another example, that talent agencies will look for actors and actresses who can play a certain role in a story of. Tumben jaringannya terputus ya. Sudah lama tidak seperti ini ya, mungkin jaringannya sedang tidak baik saat ini. Oke, kita mulai lagi, tadi sudah di tengah-tengah terputus ya. Ya, ini di luar dugaan saya juga, sudah lama tidak ada gangguan. Okay, and then the people who have been really fit into several roles in a movie or cinematic drama on television will be picked up as, for example, the one who plays some good behavior because he is the hero in this movie. And some of the people who can act like villains will be also fake because they can show a good expression to be a bad character. Yeah, that shows some toxic attitude. And then there are also some support characters that will also help all of the main actors here to have more interaction and define themselves as hero and villain by having the interaction with those support characters. Yeah. And then after the audition have been gained, there are several talented individuals who have been picked up to be casted in a certain movie or film. And then in the film studios, they will do some process of shooting. Yeah. It can be inside a room of studio with certain effect of CGI from the green screen that is processed and visualized by video editor, or they will also have some shooting process outside the building in a natural environment that have a certain background of nature like mountains, forest, or there will be walking around certain building in a metropolitan city, and many other examples as the setting background that will fit based on the story that have been created by the screenwriter. And then after the shooting has been finished, film and video manufacturers will edit the video into the finished products, and then the publication will be spread out through the movie theaters. Yeah, there is some premiere that will also gain some fans to watch for the first time in the movie theater, and then there are several weeks for repeating the movie to be displayed, yeah, for all of the fans who come to those movie theaters. After several weeks, those movies will be released into video stores, yeah, and then they can also have some private collection by buying some Blu-ray disc on their homes and play it from the home theater, yeah, DVD players. And there are also other choices in this modern era that they can also stream all of the movie via the website, yeah, they can also stream it, okay, without buying the physical compact disc, okay. Ya, ini mungkin proses-proses yang terjadi ketika kita mendapatkan profit, mulai dari menyeleksi talenta-talenta individunya, kemudian agensi akan merekrut, ya, melakukan audisi dan merekrut yang terbaik untuk kemudian diorbitkan, ya, diorbitkan, dan juga setelah itu mendapatkan penghasilan, ya, para talent ini dalam bentuk royalti untuk musisi dan juga penulis. Untuk aktor dan aktris, ya, ada bayaran atau honor tersendiri, ya, yang akan didapatkan dari masing-masing pemeran dalam suatu film. Kemudian masuk rekaman, gitu kan, kalau untuk musik. Kemudian masuk publikasi untuk buku, dan setelah itu aktor dan aktris ini akan syuting, ya, dan semuanya akan dijadikan produksi. Nah, produksinya untuk musik tentunya ada yang di toko-toko kaset kalau dulu, ya, 90-an masih ada, awal 2000 sekarang sudah tidak ada, mungkin dalam bentuk CD. Kemudian juga terakhir kali itu malah dijual di fast food, ya, mungkin sekarang makin jarang di food store karena beralih ke internet dan pembelian online, ya, ada yang official iTunes, atau kemudian dari channel-channel dengan banyak klik akan mendapatkan AdSense. Kemudian juga toko-toko buku, ya, pilihannya adalah ada e-commerce juga, penjualan secara online dari beberapa brand, ya, dari beberapa toko e-commerce seperti Tokopedia, kemudian juga Shopee dan lain-lain. Kemudian film, ya, tentunya akan ada juga penjual-penjual. Pertama akan ditayangkan di bioskop, awal-awal premier, sampai misalnya beberapa minggu kemudian baru adalah produksinya disebarkan untuk koleksi pribadi ke dalam toko-toko video, toko-toko DVD, gitu, ya. Nah, kalau sekarang kan udah mulai Blu-ray disc. Tapi juga ada opsi lain, mungkin sekarang sudah berkurang orang membeli secara langsung untuk koleksi pribadi. Ada juga yang lebih suka untuk nonton secara streaming, gitu, ya, di internet, secara online langsung streaming. Itu tergantung orangnya. Next, Bagdikian 1992, a magazine owned by a company selects an article that is suitable for later transformation into TV series on a new network owned by a company. Okay, this is the process that we see. Someone can optimize the profit by looking at the chain of profit, yeah, chain of many publication, starting from the story that is published on the magazine, yeah, and then after it went viral, that everybody liked that story or the article. Like, for example, we've seen a story of Kabayan, yeah, and this story of Kabayan have gained so many attraction from the readers, and finally Kabayan Story become the TV series on a network owned by a company or a channel on television. Okay. After several period of time, the rating is so high. There are so many viewers who watch this TV series of Kabayan Story that it becomes a screenplay for a movie studio owned by the company. Okay. There is a version of movie theater after the TV episodes have been successful. And then with a movie soundtrack sung by a vocalist, it went more profit for that because we find that the original soundtrack of this movie is really famous. Yeah, there are so many people who like that song, and then made popular by articles in the company-owned magazines. That those articles tell about the biography of the singer, yeah, the background of the meaning of the lyrics from this song, and then constant playing of the soundtrack by radio stations, that there are so many listeners who get attracted with this playlist of songs from original soundtrack of this movie. Then the songs become popular on the record level. Yeah, there are so many people who view on the channels. There are so many purchase of the physical disc that want to buy to collect it as a private collection, run by the company-owned cable system channels and retails. Yeah, there are some TV cables also who will repeat again uh, the screen movie here, both offline or via online by streaming. Yeah, and also there are some retailers who sell some physical disc of this record. Right. Ya, ini adalah contoh integrasi yang berantai, the chains. Mulai dari misalnya apa, cerita hanya ada di majalah saja atau koran, ternyata menarik bagi pembaca. Ya, akhirnya karena banyak peminat dari artikel itu dibuatlah TV serinya. Ya kan, dari misalnya Kabayan kan awalnya itu cerita di koran. Ya kan? Setelah itu wah banyak yang suka nih. Masuklah ke TV, ya kan? Jadi episode-episode. Wah, udah gitu ternyata ratingnya tinggi. Banyak orang yang antusias ingin menonton versi misalnya filmnya, movie. Ya kan? Misalnya Preman Pensiun juga karena tinggi ratingnya jadi ada itunya versi bioskopnya, ya nggak? Nah, itu contoh yang sekarang ya, misalnya. Kemudian dengan itu ada ininya, OST-nya, original soundtrack dari opening movie-nya atau dari ending movie-nya, ternyata yang dinyanyikan oleh seorang penyanyi. Ternyata ini sukses, menarik banyak minat ya. Lagunya bagus nih, soundtracknya ya, banyak yang nyari gitu kan. Akhirnya dikenalkan lagi di artikel-artikel majalah mengenai biografi si penyanyinya gitu ya. Yang kemudian kehidupannya seperti apa, terus makna dari lirik lagunya apa. Ya, kemudian mulai dimainkan secara konstan di radio-radio ya, sehingga ketika orang lagi sambil kerja itu dengerin radio, ini apa lagunya kok enak gitu ya, atau ini lagu yang dari film anu ya, langsung mereka cari lagi nih di internet apa gitu kan, kalau sekarang browsing, cari di channel mana gitu muncul lagu itu, kemudian juga ya apalagi memiliki record label ya, sehingga pemasarannya akan lebih gencar dilakukan. Kemudian setelah sudah tidak tayang lagi di bioskop, mulailah ya si filmnya itu ditayangkan lagi di apa, kabel TV kabel ya, kayak HBO gitu kan, ada channel HBO. Kalau di TV kabel itu ada channel apa, Warner Bros ya, itu ditayangin lagi film-film yang udah tidak laku di bioskop ya, mungkin orang-orang ingin nonton lagi di TV kabel gitu kan. Kemudian juga dijual lah bentuk-bentuk kepingan fisiknya, atau sekarang kalau selain TV kabel ada apa, streamingnya. Oke, ini adalah misalnya rantai keuntungan yang sangat panjang ya, dari awal hanya cerita atau artikel, apalagi sekarang di sosmed ya. Juga misalnya KKN Desa Penari itu akibat cerita yang di-tweet seseorang di sosial media, sehingga dibuatlah misalnya versi movie-nya. Ya kan, itu dari cerita di sosmed awalnya kan. Ya, kemudian ternyata soundtracknya juga laku, ya, dibuatlah rekaman lagu itu, kemudian dipromosikan di media-media, ya kan? Nah, itu contoh lainnya, ya. Oke, lanjut. The impact of conglomeration, printed news, television, radio, films, music, books, internet have a potential to merge the company into the bigger one. If one of the owner of media industry has been really prosperous, that this person has a power to merge smaller companies into the bigger one, is the time that in a capitalist system of economic country, there are some big businessmen will own several channels of television, several brand of magazines, yeah, several publications of books, because this person has a very high capital to buy all of them into one corporation. Yeah, here in Indonesia we have example that Haritanu can own so many channels. Before that, he bought TPI into MNCTV, for example. He bought uh, several channels for his own corporation, and Khairul Tanjung also transformed TV7 into Trans7 and merged it with Trans TV to be Trans Corporation. Okay, because those people have a very strong figure and influence in the media, and they gain so much profit for having the merge of those smaller television channels into the bigger one, into a bigger corporation. And it is the impact of conglomeration. Yeah. While people can own a business by buying other shares of smaller business. Ya. Oke. Kalau di apa sih di era Orde Baru itu sudah muncul istilah konglomerat di Indonesia ya. Mulai dari era Orde Baru sudah ada. Itu kan jenis batu ya konglomerat. Tapi juga di Inggris juga digunakan istilah conglomeration bagi pengusaha-pengusaha besar yang bisa apa memiliki berbagai saham di perusahaan, yang bisa membeli perusahaan-perusahaan kecil dan melakukan merger menjadi perusahaan miliknya yang lebih besar lagi, ya kan? Kalau contoh nyatanya di kita misalnya Haritanu Studio itu punya banyak channel, ya kan? Contoh salah satu channel yang gede itu TPI milik Ibu Tut ya, anaknya Pak Harto itu jadi MNC TV yang tadinya televisi pendidikan menjadi televisi apa? Dangdut ya, MNC TV itu kan tayangan-tayangan dangdut banyaknya ya. Nah, sama sinetron. Belum lagi channel-channel lain yang digabung-gabung, ada RTV khusus acara anak misalnya ya. Kemudian RTV, ada RCTI, ada iNews khusus berita gitu kan. Itu semua digabungkan ke dalam satuan apa media yang dimiliki seorang Haritanu. Kemudian juga ada Khairul Tanjung yang mentransformasi TV7 menjadi Trans7 sehingga dia melakukan merger dengan Trans TV menjadi Trans Corporation. Ya, itu contoh nyata terjadinya merger di dunia industri media. The effects of concentration, the control and political power, censorship, private ministry of information, dominating similar interests, corporate financial health, citizen well-being, and media ownership and content diversity. Okay. The risk, while there are so many channels who are owned by someone, there will be a similar opinion about a political candidates in the election, in the general election, that if the owner of those merged companies support one candidate, there will be similar opinions that will have some positive influences to support this candidate because all of the media have been bought by this first candidate, or the owner has a coalition of political party with this upcoming candidate of presidency, governor, and other general elections. And there are also private ministry of information that cannot be broadcasted because it is in a matter of political interests. Yeah. And also, if there are same companies owned by someone, there will be similar interests that we can identify. Yeah, because this person want to have a good image of himself. Yeah, and then corporate financial health. Sometimes we neglect about the citizen well-being to went viral. Yeah, to get some viral news or sensational news, we sacrifice all of the audiences to have a bad impact of many hopes information. And then media ownership and content diversity will be also sacrificed if we don't categorize all of the channels into different functions. Yeah, that's the risk. And then kita agak singkat ya karena tinggal sedikit lagi. Yeah. What about advertising? Is what pays the bills for print and broadcast media? How to deliver audience to advertisement, media for advertising, and ways of advertising. Of course, coercive way of advertising doesn't really work because it also fits only for regulation and rules in our country. But for advertising, we need some persuasive way that promote the advantages of our media industry. And then yeah, to have a good way of promoting your own media, you have to depict advertisers' product in favorable light. Yeah, it will also cover people lifestyle and trends, what they expect from your media, and then you have to end your broadcast with upbeat story. Why? Because they will watch your channel or broadcast until the last minute if you put the upbeat story in the end or the special guest in the end of your segment. Okay, and also increasing buying mood can be gained by having different types feature of a certain product of brand. Ya, misalnya Anda sudah beli motor yang sama, ya, Beat atau Vario, tapi di tahun berikutnya ya kalau produk ya, misalnya dengan brand yang berbeda. Nah, sama halnya dengan media, misalnya season 1, season 2. Nah, kalau udah misalnya jenuh buat season 3 dengan cerita yang agak berbeda gitu ya. Kemudian, nah ini ya perkembangan media yang berubah, tidak adanya MTV ya, beralih ke channel-channel di internet, TV kabel, kemunculan TV kabel, kemudian streaming channel, internet marketplace, e-commerce, dan juga